Good afternoon, everyone. It's Lise here, and I am here to speak to you all about grief to greatness. Now, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about my story. I'm Lise, and I'm from Canada, and in the pandemic, it all started in April 18, 2020. My mother passed away. In May, my best friend passed away. My cousin passed away in May as well. And on June 30th, on our way to my mom's funeral, at my mom's house, my brother had a heart attack. He basically died in my son's arms, and it was devastating. And to go through all these multiple grief issues, I really felt that there was so many things that I needed to do in order to shift my pain, in order to take control, in order to move myself from my acute pain, my deep, deep pain, into something that was more functional for me. So what I did is I created some tools. I worked every day on helping myself to heal. Of course, nature was helpful. Of course, listening to music. Of course, doing all these different things. But something that really occurred to me, because in April we were under the complete lockdown, we weren't able to have a funeral for my mom until July. So, what I did was I created my own celebration of life for my mom. I had a ceremony, I had a bonfire, I had a feast. We had storytelling. We shared about her life and everything. And I made her favorite foods. And that was really the point where I felt like I had a bit of moving that pivot of that acute pain to having a little bit of closure. Not to say that I'm closing her out of my heart, but a little bit of honoring her the way she needed to be honored. So the other thing too is that creating that celebration of life, you can do it yourself as well. And doing that for yourself and your family can be the most healing thing ever. The other thing that I did was I created a virtual event, an event where we could actually have a dialogue or even talk about our grief, and share stories about our mom. And that's really the way to go, because a lot of people are stuck at home and they can't do anything. The other thing that really helped me along was to create a booklet on my mom's life. Um, this here booklet took me hours upon hours. It was like about 100 hours of work of doing this. And it's a celebration of her life. Because we couldn't be together for so long, I had weeks upon end to put pictures together, to talk to my family to get their pictures together. My mom basically had 9 kids, and to put something like this together was extraordinary to honor her life. So basically, what I did was I did a tribute letter to her. I couldn't write a goodbye letter because it's not a goodbye to me. She's just evolved into another form. So I will teach you step by step how to do this by connecting, getting all the pictures together, starting with their early life. Like this was her timeline of what I did with her in January, when she was still alive. And it talks about all the significant things that have occurred in her life, like where she was born and where she went to school, to all the births of her 9 children, some of the things she loved to do, like gardening and also doing, cooking and stuff like that. So these are pictures of the early years of her life. And then it went into like, some of the school years of her life. Like we're Catholics and she loved to go to church and stuff, and this is where she was getting christened. And this is some of our relatives in the old days. She loved her classes in school. My mom basically had up until grade 10. And yeah, she was just great. You know, she was really a high achiever in 4-H club, sewing class. There's my mom and dad. They were farmers, and also my dad was a school teacher. They met and they married in 1955, which is amazing. And in those days, they got married in the winter time. It was still horse and buggy. So this is her celebrating her 80th birthday with her siblings. My dad had already passed away by then. And then there was a section for all the kids. This is all my mom's children. And then each child had a full page to add all the pictures of them and my mother. So this gave people an opportunity in the family to participate. Now this is the brother that had the major heart attack and died coming to my mom's funeral. His name was Jacques. And basically he had passed away. And it was very, very difficult on us. We had another brother that passed away too. I'll find you his picture after. This is my brother from Vancouver. He participated. We put all the pictures together. And there's my other sister and her kids. And my other sister with my mom. So yeah, everybody had their own page. Of course, this is my page with my kids and I. And then there was a section specifically for the grandchildren. Oh yes, and there's the other brother that died before, my brother Jean. And here's my mother when she was a young lady. And the grandchildren, I had them all participate as well, and they had a quarter page as well. So if you have a big family too, you can section it out like this as well. As you can see, it's miraculous. And there's my my mom's granddaughter who is wearing her wedding dress. You know, these are just such significant, beautiful things that, you know, I thought I'd share with you, that you could do this to honor your loved ones, because, you know, it shows that they lived a good life. And for me, it's all about legacy making. And this is kind of like an heirloom for the next generation. This is where we grew up on the farm. We had our own cows, we had chickens, and my mom loved her chickens. We had huge raspberry plants, and we had a couple of fields. And we used to have a ton of potatoes and stuff. Because imagine a big family like that to feed all these kids. So that's basically the book of, you know, sharing the story about my loved ones through creating this book and stuff. So it shows that she lived a life well lived, with her picture at the back. And also at the back here, it says celebration of life. So you can do this right through Vistaprint, and they'll help you with all the technology and everything. The next thing from that is that you can create your own memorial slides. The memorial slides are really handy, especially if you're going to have a service. Then you can have the memorial slides, even if it's a virtual event, to honor your loved ones' pictures. The other thing that I created, because I felt it was so helpful, is that you know, a grief and loss booklet. You know, it's a PDF, and it'll be helpful for awareness, and also exercises that you can do to move yourself forward. The one thing I want to say is that I couldn't write a goodbye letter. So there's I created some documents in there so that you can do a thank you letter. or a tribute letter, thanking her or whoever your loved one was for what they did in your life. The other thing that you would get with this entire package would be access to the Facebook. The Facebook is a place where you can access resources, supports from other people in the group, as well as, get some really amazing tips from people. The other thing, too, is that I would do a 30-minute coaching call with you. And that's basically what, in a nutshell, what I have to offer. So I did put a price on it. However, I'm open to discussing situations with people. And I just want to help as many people as possible. And I feel it's critical that people get everything, because I went to see a therapist and I paid probably about $700 in seeing the therapist myself to get myself through. But I didn't have any of all of this broken up because she couldn't do all of this. So I created a package that helped me out of what I went through, because I know exactly what it feels like to go through and not have the resources available to you. And it was difficult because places were closed and I couldn't, go from here, there, and everywhere to get what I needed. So I included this entire package, and I made this for people like yourself who are going through this difficult, difficult time. I'm so sorry for your loss. And if you really want to move forward, then you can inquire with me. I'm more than happy to walk you through and be the bridge you need to connect with in order to move yourself to the higher levels of your life and to be at peace and know that you're doing something that will really make a difference in your life. Because being stuck, I know for years on end, I've talked to a lady that I've assisted that she was stuck for 20 years. I don't want that for you. I want you to move forward. And our loved ones want you to live an optimal life. And that's my goal, my dream, to help as many people as possible. Because I don't want you to suffer like I did. So it's in your hands to take action. You can contact me. And if you don't take action, do you want to be where you're still at? Stuck, depressed? It's really up to you. My information's in my message here, and I look forward to chatting with you.